Hey guys, I'm so excited that you've signed up as a puppy volunteer. What that means is that you're going to be helping us to grow and develop these young puppies into becoming some of the most amazing dogs that anyone will ever meet. It's a really important job because one thing that a lot of folks don't realize is that not all puppies are created equal. Just like all of us have different strengths and weaknesses, the same is true of our puppies. We've all met folks that had dogs that were nervous about different things when they were out in public, or sometimes even at home when people come over, the dogs get nervous and are barking, things like that. Those are things that are just unacceptable for service dogs to do. So we have to start at a very young age to make sure that these puppies grow up to become very confident, very outgoing, very willing to do the work that they're asked to do. And like I said, it's so important that you're playing a role in that because we need as many people as possible. They have to meet lots of different people of all different ages, males, females, different ethnicities, people who dress differently, talk differently, walk differently. All of those things are just super important because these puppies need to know that nothing out there in the world is scary for them. They have to have the utmost confidence in everything that they do. These puppies go on to training facilities literally all over the world, and so what you're doing does have a pretty huge impact. To give you a little bit of an idea of what some of these puppies go on to do, many of them go on to become service dogs for the blind, guide dogs for the blind, dogs that help out veterans with PTSD or other people with PTSD. We've had dogs that have gone into what's something called courtroom dogs, which is where maybe when a child comes into the courtroom that's been abused, the dog helps to soothe them so that way they can talk about some of the things that have happened to them. A lot of our dogs become diabetic alert dogs, which is something that we actually do at our facility. A lot of those other services that I just mentioned to you, we don't actually do here. The dogs go on to other training facilities around the world. Mobility assistance dogs, so dogs that help pull people in wheelchairs or retrieve objects, and hearing assistance dogs for those that are deaf and aren't able to hear things like when their phone rings or when someone knocks on the door, the dog can alert them to let them know that a timer has gone off or any of those things. So really, we do prepare these dogs for a wide array of jobs that they might encounter in the world. And like I said, not all dogs are created equal. Even with all the work that you're going to be helping us do, we consider ourselves really lucky that about 1 out of every 5 of the puppies that we work with goes on to become a service dog. So it really is a really high standard. It's the best of the best that make it as service dogs. A common comparison that I like to make is it's kind of like Navy SEALs. Not everyone can be a Navy SEAL. Another good example is NBA players. No matter what I did, I probably could never become an NBA player in my life. I just don't have what it takes to do that. And it's the same thing with the puppies. As great a puppies as some of them might be, not all of them are going to go on to become service dogs because it really does take a special dog that can do all these things that we're talking about. So I want to go over just a few ground rules for when you get here. One thing obviously is that these puppies are still very young and susceptible to different diseases and things like that because they're going through a transition period where they haven't built up their own antibodies yet to some of the things that happen out in the world. So one thing we'll ask you to do, we'll either have a sterilization system for your shoes when you get here, and of course to wash your hands. If we don't have a sterilization system, like for example some of the activities we do, we prefer not to do that, we're going to ask you to take your shoes off. So please be comfortable with that. Some folks get embarrassed when we ask them to do that and they're not wearing matching socks or something like that. We don't care, but we want to make sure that you understand that there might be times that you're asked to take your shoes off here at the facility when you're working with the puppies. And like I said, you'll be washing your hands before dealing with the puppies as well. The reason why we focus on the shoes so much is because everywhere that you've walked, you could possibly potentially be picking up diseases or germs or things like that that could be brought to the puppies. A really common example is you don't know what walked across your front yard last night, and a raccoon with a parvo disease could have walked across your yard last night, and then you walk across your yard this morning and now you've got some of those contaminants on there and you could bring that into the puppies. So we want to make sure that we're not doing anything like that. Another frequently asked question is if minors under the age of 18 are allowed to volunteer, and you absolutely are. 12 and up are allowed to come without a parent to the facility. 12 and up are not allowed to accompany us off the property of the facility. Like for example, sometimes we take the puppies to local stores and restaurants and things like that. If a volunteer that's under the age of 18, between 12 and 18, would like to come to one of those activities, you'll have to make sure that a parent accompanies you to those activities. Either you can still meet us here at the facility, if you'd like, you can arrange to meet us at the location where we'll be working with the puppies. So absolutely, we want minors here. Like I mentioned earlier, we need folks of all ages to help participate in this volunteer program, but 12 to 18 can only participate here at the facility unless accompanied by a parent. Also, all activities here are recorded through our surveillance system to make sure that everybody's kept safe, and we'd also ask that any of those 12 to 18-year-olds that do sign up and that want to come by themselves, just drop us a special note letting us know that it's a minor, because we want to make sure that we have more than one staff on hand, because we also have a rule that it can't ever be just one staff member with a minor. Children under 12 are also more than welcome to come, but we do require that a parent comes with any children that are under 12. And again, we really emphasize we'd love to have you come. If you've got kids under 12, we really do need them. We need as many of those younger kids as possible, because we actually have quite a few adults and not as many younger kids as we'd like right now. And so please, families, feel free to bring your children. We'd love for you guys to participate. Another really important rule is just that we'd like to ask that everybody, when they arrive on time. The schedule really is pretty strict with these puppies, and we've got so many activities that we need to get through in such a short amount of time that if you come a little bit late, we might have already started an activity. You'll be able to maybe jump in where you're at when you get there, but if it's an activity where we have to leave or something, we can't wait on you. And also, if you're late, you might miss your activity because we might be moving on to the next thing, at which point we just have to ask you to leave and wait for your next opportunity. So please be on time, because the schedule really is important with these guys. We have so much that we have to do that we have to keep that schedule pretty strict. And we never, and you obviously won't be able to see the full schedule because we've got so much going on with them. And so we just need you to just assume that if you're late, it's going to mess things up a little bit, and we'd really appreciate that. Again, thank you so much. The work that you're going to be doing with these puppies is going to go on to really improve someone's life. Even the dogs that end up not making it as service dogs go on to become some really amazing pets for folks, and so even they will be very grateful for the work that you've put in. Thanks again for volunteering. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I really look forward to having you come out and work with us, and the puppies really look forward to it as well. Have a great day.